people were killed and dozens of others were injured in a massive multi-vehicle pileup. It happened during a blinding snow squall. Yet on Wall Street, Dow futures down 120. More on these stories, townhall.com.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, 50 degrees, cloudy in Clinton this morning.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Rain showers starting to creep into central Illinois here this morning. Rain, even thunderstorms likely today. New rain between 3/4 and an inch. More where we see scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures in the mid-60s today. A wind advisory in effect at 9 this morning until 9 p.m. this evening. South winds today 15 to 25 miles an hour with wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour. Tonight, showers, even storms continuing. Lows in the upper 30s. Winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles an hour. Wind gusts tonight could reach 35 miles per hour. And new rain tonight between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. Showers and storms early on Thursday, with showers likely in the afternoon on Thursday. Temperatures around 40 degrees. Winds out of the west-southwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high of 50. Saturday, a chance of early rain and snow. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Sunday, sunny, highs in the upper 50s. Right now, it is cloudy across central Illinois with some of those rain showers in the southwestern portion of the state. 53 in Bloomington, 50 in Hayworth, 51 in Leroy, 50 in Farmer City, 50 in Champaign, 50 in Monticello, 51 in Decatur, 50 in Lincoln, 51 in Springfield, and 51 in Peoria. 50 degrees and overcast in Clinton. Feels like 46 outside. Southeast winds are calm, 92% humidity, and 10 miles of visibility this morning. Get the latest in local weather at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
Your own home without the maintenance. If you're 55 or better, a beautiful Liberty Village villa could be yours. This is Erin, and I invite you to come take a tour of our move-in ready villa. Click the Liberty Village icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Getting your pet's needed medications is easy with Covenant Animal Clinic in Clinton.
Yes, very convenient, especially because I live in Bloomington. It always gets delivered right to your door.
I've used the online pharmacy. It's so easy.
Click the Covenant Animal Clinic icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to learn more.
Eagle Ridge Supportive Living Indicator is affordable to everyone. Marketing Director Carla Thomas here, inviting you to schedule your tour by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and start enjoying supportive living.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, the helpful place at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, under cloudy skies, 50 degrees. It feels like 46 outside.
From regional radio, DeWittDailyNews.com, and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us here this morning. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agents in Clinton. DeWitt County nonprofits and small businesses have submitted applications to the DeWitt County Board for grant funding through the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, for funding to make up for projects during COVID. Over 20 requests have been submitted to the DeWitt County Board, and Board Chair Terry Ferguson indicates the County Board will begin a series of meetings on April 4th to review those applications.
We've got 21 grant requests in from the county. some from businesses, some from nonprofits. And on April the 4th, we're going to hold a meeting where that's all we're going to deal with. We're going to analyze the projects, determine how much funding we're going to have available for the projects. We may want to put a cap on a maximum amount that any agency or person or organization could get. We don't know for sure what we're going to do. We got to look and see what we've got, evaluate the project, make sure they meet the criteria of the ARPA program. I'm thinking to go through that many applications, we're probably going to have maybe 3 meetings to do all that.
Yeah. At last week's county board meeting, the board approved upgrades for equipment for DeWitt County dispatchers. Ferguson explains the ARPA funds are pretty flexible.
Well, it's pretty flexible. We are allowed to use it for anything COVID related that the county has, or we can use it for things like last month we recommended buying body cams for the police department, for the sheriff's department, and radios. We're going to be looking at getting the new consoles for the 911 dispatchers to use. They're not cheap. They're real expensive, but we're to the point where we're losing our ability to maintain them. They're old school. It's kind of like having a Windows 7 computer. They're when they quit making parts for them and software for them, you got to upgrade.
Another of the allowable uses for the ARPA funding is premium pay for workers like first responders, dispatchers, and corrections. Ferguson indicates they approved a $1,500 premium pay last week for those individuals.
Yeah, that's one of the allowable uses for the ARPA fund. The Finance Committee meeting this week, we decided to pay all of the sheriff's department, the dispatchers, and the correctional officers all a $1,500 premium pay. You might wonder, we did a $500 payment the previous month for the courthouse employees, and we felt that the law enforcement people are at most risk. They have to go in to deal with the public, whether they've got COVID in their house or not. You bring somebody in under an arrest, and there's a chance they could spit in your face or whatever. So we felt they were at more risk. We increased their premium pay.
Last Thursday, the county board also approved payment to Warner Hospital and Health Services for $6,375. Ferguson notes this is to reimburse the hospital for its COVID testing in the jail during a COVID outbreak earlier this year. Funding has been secured and equipment will be in on time to make sure new playground equipment at Lincoln School in Clinton can be installed this summer. A presentation to the Clinton Board of Education, last Thursday indicated the dated equipment currently at the school needs to be updated for several reasons. Clinton School's superintendent, Kurt Nettle, says the equipment will be installed by district staff.
So the Lincoln Playground project is going to happen this summer. The equipment, I'm not sure if it's 100% all the way in, but it's been coming in some chunks at a time. We're storing it. And as soon as school is out, our maintenance staff and whoever they're employing to help them, they're going to go out and tear out the old and start installing the new. By the end of summer, or even before that, we should have that playground in place. And CCEF is a part of that with their finances and their thoughts and ideas. So we're not just putting in playground equipment. There's going to be some shade created. CCEF will definitely be a part of that. There's going to be a little structure for shade. We'll put a nice plaque on somewhere for them and their donation and their efforts in that regard. So that's fantastic that they're doing that.
Russell Long with the Clinton Community Education Foundation indicates they are pleased to be helping out financially with this project. He was surprised to learn there are pieces of playground equipment on the campus now that are not suitable for kids in the pre-K to first grade ages.
The school district is going to be completely renovating and replacing all the equipment at Lincoln School over the summer. I did not realize some of that equipment the kids can't even touch or climb on because it's not rated for them. because originally that was for older kids' school when Lincoln was originally used, but now they just have the kindergarten, first grade. So they're actually going to get rid of everything that the kids can't have, and they're bringing all new equipment in, and they're really going to treat the playground as a classroom, because really there is so much that the kids do out on the playground that is important for them to build their social skills and build bonds and be able to know how to interact and work out problems. So the Education Foundation, we are going to contribute one of the largest amounts we've ever done on a program. We're helping out with about $15,000. We're doing that from an endowment that we received from Mr. Davenport. So we're going to dedicate that, have a plaque in his honor, and we're really looking forward to the playground area getting done over the summer so we can have a ribbon cutting and just get to see those kids out there enjoying themselves.
The CCEF recently awarded a dozen teacher grants to Clinton Schools classrooms. Nettles is excited to see the things those teachers and students will be doing with those gifts, and the CCEF, from the CCEF, I should say, and the district is always appreciative of the support of what the nonprofit arm of the school district does for them. The National Weather Service is growing concerned over trends that are shaping up for the middle of the summer. Moisture in central Illinois has been abundant since the first of the year, but a trend towards the middle of the summer is concerning weather officials. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln says temperatures are showing above normal trends, but precipitation is showing that it could drop off.
Yeah, the May, June, July has a pretty strong above normal temperature signal in there. But then the precip kind of wanes off. We're in the near equal chances of above or below normal precipitation as we head the May, June, July timeframe. So that above that really wet spring might kind of fade away a little bit. Although normal rains in that time of the year is 4 to 5 inches of rain. So it's not like you're going to be completely dry if you have a normal rain month. For June, we average 4.16, and July is 4.91. So pretty decent amounts of rain still if we're near normal. But, the signal itself showing that trend probably there could be some dry spells as we head towards the middle, late summer.
Shipman is concerned because if just 1 month comes in below normal for moisture, it can zap moisture from the ground in a hurry with the heat of a summer day.
Yeah, it can sustain for about 4 weeks, but if we have like a 1-inch July rainfall or something like that, or if we're 2 to 3 inches below normal for a month, the heat of the day, the sun beating on the ground, it saps moisture fast from the ground, especially over a 3-4 week period of relatively low amounts of rain. So, we've had like huge flooding in a June time frame, but by the end of August on one year, I forget what year it was, but we were already starting to creep into the drought category in some areas, even though we had record flooding on the rivers in the May, June time frame. So it can happen quickly if you really shut things down, because, we need that replenishment, or you can get some deep drought starting to set up.
In the meantime, Shimon notes the upcoming spring months are still calling for above normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. The Illinois Farm Bureau is putting out a call to action regarding fertilizer prices. IFB President Rich Giebert hopes the message gets heard.
It's been on the hearts and minds of farmers, not only here in Illinois, but across the country, for the last number of months, as we've seen fertilizer prices and energy prices increase out at the farm gate. We have a call to action coming out, and we're very happy to have an opportunity to provide comments to USDA and the administration about the $250 million that grants that will be available down the road. And so we're issuing a call to action for our members to make comment about what opportunities would they think would be good to spend that $250 million on.
Information on the call to action is available at ilfb.org. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Everyone knows wind farms bring tax revenue and jobs. But what else can they do for our community?
Apex Clean Energy is investing all across Illinois in homegrown wind and solar farms that help secure American energy independence. Without relying on volatile fuel prices, renewable energy keeps our air and water clean for people, crops, and wildlife. Apex Clean Energy is powering stronger communities across Illinois. Learn more at apexcleanenergy.com.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Dominic Thayer pitched into the 7th inning and drove in 2 runs at the plate as Clinton got by Tuscola in the Central Illinois Conference opener Tuesday afternoon in Tuscola. Thayer struck out 9, allowed 4 runs on 6 hits, and issued 4 walks. Mason Walker recorded the final 2 outs for the Maroons to pick up the save. Thayer went 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in, and Walker reached base 3 times on 3 walks and scored twice. Tuscola's Peyton Armstrong hit a home run in the top of the 1st inning to put the Warriors up 1-0. The Maroons answered with a 3-run frame in the 4th inning. Caden Bayer's 2-run home run in the 4th inning tied the game at 3 for Tuscola, and the Warriors took the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning, pushing a run across on another RBI hit by Bayer, but the Maroons scored 2 in the top of the 7th inning to take the lead. Bayer finished 2 for 3 for Tuscola with 3 runs batted in. Monday's action was the first game of the season for Clinton as they go to 1-0 overall and 1-0 in the CIC. The Maroons did not schedule games the first week of the season and had their scheduled matchups last week all canceled due to weather. The Maroons are scheduled to host Central A&M on Thursday. Ella and Ava Boyer hit home runs for the Tuscola Lady Warriors as they beat Clinton 15-4 in Central Illinois Conference high school girls softball action from Tuscola Tuesday afternoon. The Lady Warriors used a 6-run 2nd inning and a 7-run 4th inning to fuel them past the struggling Lady Maroons. Both Boyers drove in 3 runs and scored twice. Marissa Boyer and Isabel Wilcox drove in 2 runs for Tuscola. Heidi Humble paced the Lady Maroons offense, going 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and an RBI. Brooke Reeves, Morgan Fortune, and Kate Goebel drove in runs for Clinton. The Lady Maroons fall to 0-4 and 0-1 in the CIC. They are scheduled to host Central A&M on Thursday. The Mount Pulaski Hilltoppers boys baseball team had an offensive explosion, blasting Illini Central 24-0 in Tomahawk Conference high school boys baseball action Tuesday in Mason City. Landon Smith was a home run short of the cycle, going 3 for 3 with 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Liam Smith finished 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Jackson Fricky finished 4 for 4 with 3 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Colin Gibbs finished 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles and 4 RBIs. Clay Aylesworth, Colt Sellinger, and Luke Ferris each drove in a pair of runs for the Hilltoppers. Ferris threw 3 shutout innings in the starting role for Mount Pulaski, allowing a hit, issuing 3 walks, and striking out 4. Sellinger closed the game out with a clean, scoreless inning of relief. The Hilltoppers are 3-0 and 1-0 in the Tomahawk. They'll take on Decatur LSA Thursday afternoon. The Fighting Illini baseball team fell to Missouri in the 2022 Bragging Rights baseball game in Sauget Tuesday, 11-7. Illinois recorded 7 runs on 10 hits en route to its first Bragging Rights loss since 2014. Both Ryan Hampy and Justin Janis homered in the game for Illinois. They opened the scoring in the second as sophomore Brody Harding drove in infielder Taylor Jackson on a 2-out RBI single, his 7th RBI of the season. But the Tigers responded with 2 in the second on a 2-run home run, followed by another 2 runs in the third to go up 4-1. Missouri tacked on 2 more before Illinois responded in the 6th. Hampy connected on a 2-run opposite field homer, his 2nd of the season, cutting the deficit to 6-3. The 2 teams continued to trade runs while the Tigers held on to the lead throughout the latter innings of the ball game. Illinois was unable to bring the tying run to the on-deck circle in the top of the ninth inning. They were able to, but the comeback effort fell short. Up next, Illinois hosts Purdue for the first home Big Ten series of the season. First game of the series is 6 o'clock on Friday. DeMar DeRozan scored 14 of his 32 points in the fourth quarter, and the Chicago Bulls pulled away for a 107-94 victory over the Washington Wizards on Tuesday night. Nikola Vucevic had 27 for Chicago, who is trying to stay in the top 6 of the Eastern Conference and avoid a play-in round in the postseason. The 44-32 Bulls took a half-game lead over Toronto for 5th place in the East, and they lead 7th place Cleveland by a game and a half. Chicago has played 12 of its last 15 games on the road, but now have only 6 games remaining in the regular season, and the next 5 are at home. Rui Hachimura led Washington with 21, who had their modest 2-game win streak snapped. Condavious Caldwell-Pope scored 20 for the Wizards. The Bulls responded from a loss to the Knicks in New York the previous night, overcoming a scoreless first half from Zach LaVine, who did finish with 14. DeRozan was just 2 of 12 from the field in the first half, but finished 10 of 15 in the second half. Chicago led 75-73 after 3, but the Bolts made their decisive run early in the fourth. DeRozan's breakaway dunk made it 90-80, the first double-digit lead for either team, and Chicago comfortably closed the game out from there. Vucevic scored 20 in the first half, and the Bulls led 51-46 at the intermission. Guard Javonte Green scored 9 points on 4 of 4 shooting for Chicago. That included a one-handed dunk in the second quarter and an alley-oop moments later. The Bulls will host the Clippers on Thursday. The Chicago Bears have signed veteran quarterback Trevor Siemian to a 2-year contract Tuesday to back up Justin Fields. Siemian has appeared in 33 games and started 29, throwing for 6,843 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 27 picks between playing for the Broncos, Jets, and the Saints. He starred at Northwestern before getting drafted by Denver in the 7th round in 2015. Fields is coming off a shaky season after Chicago traded up in the draft with the number 11 overall pick. The Bears also have Super Bowl 52 MVP Nick Foles on their roster. The Bears decided to make big changes after going 6-11 and missing the playoffs for the 9th time in 11 years. They hired GM Ryan Poles to replace Ryan Pace and Matt Eberflus to take over for Matt Nagy. Chicago also traded star pass rusher Khalil Mack to the Chargers earlier this offseason. The Chicago White Sox have added depth to their outfield Tuesday, acquiring Adam Hazley in a trade with the Philadelphia Phillies. Chicago sends minor league pitcher McKinley Moore to Philly for Hazley, a .264 hitter over parts of 3 big league seasons. Outfielder Blake Rutherford was designated for assignment by the reigning AL Central champs to make room on the 40-man roster. The White Sox lost Andrew Vaughn Sunday when he got hurt making a diving catch in the outfield. The 23-year-old Vaughn, who was the 3rd pick in the 2019 amateur draft, was diagnosed with a hip pointer, but he could start playing in games again in 1 to 2 weeks. Hazley was selected by the Phillies with the 8th overall pick in the 2017 amateur draft. He has appeared in 72 games in center field, 35 in left, and 19 games in right. He made his big league debut in 2019, hitting .266 with 5 homers and 26 RBIs in 67 games. Hazley was the Phillies' opening day center fielder last year, but appeared in just 9 games with the big league club. He hit .233 in 56 games in the minors. The 23-year-old Moore was selected by Chicago in the 14th round of the 2019 draft. A 6'6 right-hander went 2-2 with a 4.20 ERA in 38 games in the minors last year. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
If you're looking for local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared.